What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone on this Monday, the 9th of January. What is gonna be, in my opinion, the most important week of our season already. That's what I think. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, and hit that bell notification. As you can see, we're gonna talk about the guy on the thumbnail, Karsdorp. But before we are gonna do that, I wanna quickly say that we're second in the league now because the Milan game was strange. Inter also lost points, Lazio dropped points. You could say Roma dropped points, so we're second in the league on the same points as Milan at the moment. But we're 7 points off Napoli. Now, we play them on Friday, and well, I think it's very clear what you need to do because if you lose, it's 10 points, it's done. In terms of we are not gonna get back into it, like because we are on a crazy streak, we are on actually mad streak. To get back into it, you need to, if you lose, you need to go on that streak again, that type of streak, which is very difficult to do, and you need to hope that Napoli drop even more points than they are doing now, which is very few. So in my opinion, it's a decisive week. You can not lose. I don't think you can even draw. I think 7 points is quite a lot, considering how Napoli are playing. I think you need to win on Friday, but we're gonna discuss that during the week, obviously with lives and all those stuff. And then on Friday, we will see who will come on top. We just know that we finally beat a top 4 team, which wasn't the case last season. It's now the question: can we do it away from home against what is the best team in the league at the moment? Because they play the opposite. I mean, the way they play is the complete opposite than what we do because we are very defensive. We try to be solid. I'm not saying they're not solid, but they're more open. Also, they go for it from the get-go. That's why they're a little bit more open. Not saying wide open at the back, whatever, because they can pressure you. They can suffocate you with their press. They're very good on the ball, and they just play good football. So, interesting to see how we're going to approach that game. But that's for later today, tomorrow, Wednesday, whatever. I want to talk about this news, and that's Karsdorp, because at the start, let's say at the start of December, end of November, you got news that if we're gonna do something, it's gonna be left, right back, whatever. Probably the right back, Miele, and Karsdorp, Fresneda, all those names. So I'm gonna read out the news first. Sky Italia said Juve could make contact with Roma in the next few days. For Karsdorp, Juve are willing to offer a maximum of 5 million. Roma will like no less than 10 million from the sale of the player. That's one part. The second part is from checks carried out, Juve are not willing to bid in the immediate future for Karsdorp. Now, I added the Mirko Di Natale thing because when I saw the first part of the news, I tweeted out this can be true in terms of what is this, and people were tagging the Mirko Di Natale thing. I am not sure what, because people were tagging me and saying, it's all bullshit. Mirko Di Natale doesn't say it's bullshit, and people know what I think about the source. He's very good at, I don't want to say it, confirming things, verifying things, all those things. He basically said the same thing what Sky Italia said. Because Sky Italia said they could make an offer, and he said are not willing to bid in the immediate future, which translates in could, in my opinion. What does immediate future mean? A few days, a few weeks? So it was basically the same thing for me. That doesn't change anything that we have him among the options. Now, I don't believe you're gonna get him. First off, Roma asking 10 million for a player they sent home. They don't allow to train apparently because he's completely out of the project, whatever you want to say, out of the plans of Mourinho. He called them out during a presser. So the fact that they want 10 million is kind of funny, and the fact that we are potentially looking at him is not funny. It's depressing. Like it is what it is. He's a bad football player. Like he's just not good. You know, he is gonna add absolutely nothing. He's not better than what we have. That's my biggest point. Like he's not better than what we have. And if he comes in, should you sign him? I don't get it. Like you're looking at him. If you're looking at him, it's basically numbers because you have injuries and all those things. He's not gonna improve you. Not as a sub, not as a starter. He's not a good player. He's just not. Period. Um, and you might say it's only 5 mil. It's not only 5 mil. It's 5 mil and a deal. Like he's gonna be there. Forget about the 5 mil for a moment. He's gonna be there while we don't need him. He's not good enough. He's absolutely not good enough. We need better in the summer, left and right, in my opinion. And that's just a waste of a 5 million and a spot and wages. So I hope that my gut feeling is right and that we're absolutely excuse me, that we're absolutely not looking at him because I just don't understand it. I just absolutely don't understand it. Now, I'm good to stay like this. I'm good to not do panic buys, waste money, all those things. I'm actually pretty good with that. Um, I would take a look if you can, go for the Fresneda and already, how do you want to say that? Book the sale or the purchase for the summer. I'm okay with doing that. But it cannot be Karsdorp or one of those players. It just can't be. I think we need something completely fresh. Also in terms of a player being completely fresh, not from this league, if you know what I mean. Just completely out of the box. Fresneda is out of the box. Excuse me. This is not out of the box. Like this is a panic slash whatever we are gonna do something by, which we shouldn't be entertaining at this moment in time because save every single penny. Because that's a debate on Twitter among fans. It's a good one to have. I don't agree. There are people saying keep Alexandro. I'm saying no. Again, I understand why people are saying that. I do. But it's still a no for me because he's a free agent like Cuadrado. You don't need to give them anything anymore. Like, you gave them a lot. They, especially one, hasn't given you much over the last couple of years. You don't need to do that. Just look at De Chilio. It's a waste of money. Again, I don't care if it's 1.5 million. It's a waste. He's injured. Alexandro is not good enough. Cuadrado's not good enough at the moment. Even on very, very cheap wages, they're just not good enough. And Alexandro hasn't been the worst player of the season. He hasn't. But I cannot forget the last couple of years. And also, it's just flat when he plays. It's like, Yes, he's not making mistakes at this moment in time, knock on wood, which looks like a miracle if you look at him last season. But going forward on the ball, it's just, it's just nothing. Like there's absolutely nothing coming out of it. It's very predictable. It's very easy. It's very boring. Like it's not. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just why. Like I don't get it. But that's the debate for the summer, I guess. Later on, I don't think the club is gonna give him a new deal because it makes no sense. Like it makes no sense. We need a center back and we need left backs. We also need a winger. By the looks of it, maybe a midfielder. But our backline is not good enough. And yes, we're not conceding goals. But look at the way we are playing. That's not because we have a fantastic or like across the board amazing players at the back. Like we sit deep at home against Udinese. Yesterday, Keane in possession with Udinese, he was at the edge of our box. Like that's how we play. Like we're winning games, I get it, but we defend literally with 11 at times. And again, we're not conceding good, but that doesn't mean that backline is very good. It isn't. Rugani played a good game, but Rugani also played very bad for a lot of the times. Like, not one game is not going to change that. Alexandro has been playing bad for years. Bonucci playing bad, injury prone, big time. Gatti, good backup, for games, but like not the answer long term. Bremer is good. Danilo's playing out of his skin. Cuadrado isn't good enough anymore. The Chilio's always injured. That backline is not good. Like pure quality, like individual looking at them as individuals, they're not good enough. We are not conceding because we are playing very compact, and I give Allegri credit for that because over the start of the season, you felt those players were not trying to run through a brick wall for each other. They're doing it now, so credit to him for turning it around and the players. But purely individual speaking, that backline is not good anymore. Like it's aging, it's injury prone, and that's just a fact in my opinion. But again, that goes with not adding another average disaster player like Karsdorp, in my opinion. But let me know. You might like Karsdorp, excuse me, and you might say it's a good deal for 5 million and whatever. Let me know in the comments if you want Karsdorp, and also explain to me why, because I don't see a positive outcome of getting Karsdorp, even if it's on a 2-year deal on cheap money. I just don't. But yeah, gonna wrap it up. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and join us this week for the previews, the lives, because it's a big week, massive week. So stay tuned, and we will see you back later this week. Ciao.